Hi everyone, I'm Danielle Omo and
I'm Kristen.
And today we are here at the Thai Massage Jam going to learn about or work on our glutes and low back and help address glute and low back pain. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, awesome. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, cool. So let's have you start face down. Okay, awesome. So Kristen's been having some pain in her low back right around this area. And what attaches here is basically all of these beautiful back muscles that keep us upright all come in and tie right around here in this lumbar region. Another thing is these are your glutes, our bottoms. And this is our sacrum. It's this little triangle area. This is where our spine comes in, connects to our lower body. And then all of our nerves come down through our sacrum and our sciatic nerve come down our leg. And that's usually where we get that low back, glute, and leg pain. So we're going to address that today. One of the things we first want to do is start by softening up our receiver or our partner and just doing some gentle rocking. How does that feel, Kristen? Good. So I'm just doing this by gently pushing on her glutes. You can also take a hand right on the low back and just rock back and forth. You just want to make sure that they're nice and soft and ready. So then I'm going to come around to the feet. I'm going to hand walk or palm walk up to seeing how her muscles feel, where her tension is. She's got some, you've got some in your calves. Got nice strong legs. And just palm walk up. Just really feeling the tissue below. And also saying hi to our receiver's glutes and hamstrings. How's that pressure? Good. Do this for gentle rocking as well. Get everything nice and loose. So once we've done that, I'm going to take my knee and bring it right here where Kristen's glute meets her hamstrings. So right in that nice little crease is where my knees are going to go. Come right here, press gently in. And there's a lot of different things that we can do here. One, we can just hang out here. How does that feel, Kristen?
Good.
Would you like more pressure?
Yeah.
Great, I can give her more pressure. We can do that by simply stacking, putting more weight onto my knees. I can come in, brace with my hands, and lift up my feet and put more weight on my knees like that. I know that Kristen has got a little bit more tension in her left side. So I'm going to gently shift my weight to my left knee and press and just hold. Does that feel, Kristen? Good. Would you like more pressure?
Good.
Okay. I'm just going to hold here for a minute. Super easy. I don't want to be over. Just sit back a little bit. But I've also got hands. What am I going to do with these things? I could text. Do my hair. Look beautiful. I could also work on my partner, my friend. Just do gentle hand walks and gentle pressure on the low back. Shearing off to the side. Just like that. How does that feel?
Good.
Cool. Now that I've worked those out, I'm going to bring my knees up onto her glutes, at the very top of their glutes. If we remember, here is our sacrum. Here is the top of our iliac crest, right there. This is our SI joint in that area. A lot of people have pain there, and that's because, again, those nerves that come down our spine come through our sacrum. Here's that sciatic nerve, comes right through there, through all these beautiful glutes and down the thigh. This is where a lot of that pain can happen. So what we're going to do, we're going to find that triangle, bring up, right there at the top of those glutes, both knees, and just sink in. How does that feel? Great. So I've got Kristen's sacrum right in this area. Here are her glutes, knees in there. I'm going to use the floor to brace myself and just lean in, gentle rocking till I find a nice point that needs a little bit more focused tension. And just hang out here for a minute. I can brace on her lower back. Or if I'm really bored, I'm going to put my forearms along her back like this as well. Lots of different things I can do to stabilize myself. Does that feel, Kristen? You like more or less pressure? Great. So just feeling where she's got tension, I'm going to scoop my legs down, my knees down, her bottom just a little bit more. Lean in. Find that nice, dense muscle material that holds all of our problems. Lean in and press. So you can stay here with your partner for as long as they feel comfortable, or until you feel, sometimes you'll feel the glutes will clench and then release, which is awesome and it feels amazing. You just hang out until you feel that, or until your partner's just like, you know what, I'm done, and then you're done. So then what we can do is we take our feet and we lean back and we sit back up on our feet like this. That way we don't put any unnecessary pressure or unexpected pressure on her glutes. We're going to come back in to right where the hams meet that glute, right there. And again, just going to hold, just like that. And press in. How's that feel? Awesome. Now, Kristen is very flexible, so super jealous. There are a lot of people that are very bendy. And to reach some of these front hip flexor muscles and attachments, what we can do is, Kristen, would you please bring your heels to your glutes? Thank you. I'm going to grab the heels or the ankles, and I'm going to lift up and press in to that glute ham juncture. And as I do that, I'm going to bring in traction her ankle and her lower leg. How does that feel? Good. Where are you feeling that? You feeling it in your hamstrings? Awesome. How about your hip flexors a little bit? Not as much? You're super flexible. For her, we can also bring her feet forward. See how they've crossed my body now? How does that feel? Good. Just let her stretch with that for just a minute. So normally I would hold a lot of these poses or techniques or moves, whatever I'm doing, a lot longer, giving Kristen's body time to really feel the deep work and then release. But we're just showing you a couple of little things today, and we've got some time limits. Would you mind rolling onto your back, please? Thank you. So I know that Kristen's left side has been bothering her because she's been doing some awesome workouts. She was telling me about these amazing squats that I can't even imagine doing. So we're going to help her out with that, with doing some just hip movements and a little bit of focus on her quads. So as you can see, I put my foot underneath her knee. I've turned my foot in so it's not as sharp underneath her knee. I'm going to take my other foot and just gently press into her hip. So just like that. And just do some gentle rocking. Now this foot, my left foot, is just acting as an anchor or stabilizer for her leg while I move her hips around. How does that feel? So right now I'm just rocking, but knowing her and she needs a lot more attention because she uses her body, we're going to do a little bit more aggressive rocking. And as you can see, her hip is popping up with all of that movement. How's that feeling? Good. Awesome. So once I've got this area warmed up, I'm going to come in, I'm going to pop up the hip like this and just hold. How does that feel? So here we're working on glute medius, which is one of those, more lateral outside glutes that can get really tight just from sitting, living life, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to hold, rock and hold, and then here again. So now I'm pressing into glutes. Again, my left leg is more of a stabilizer, but what I can also do is if I want a little bit more, I can pull and get a little bit deeper, more of this kind of tractioning to get deeper into her hips. How does that feel? Awesome. So then just come in. I'm going to do some gentle foot compressions. And basically, I'm using the nice broad part of my foot and wrapping it around her quad, just like this, and pressing in. A lot of times you will feel some really dense tissue. Quads are always worked. We use them. We walk around a lot. So you want to be very gentle and pay special attention to the quads. And just holding. Again, left leg is my brace. I can also do like this kind of traction or torsion. If I want more pressure, just push in like that. If I want less pressure, just back off, or I can just push with this foot. It's a little hard to see because they're just such subtle movements, but that's what we do. So it's like this, hold, and release. And just go down that leg, right along this nice quad line right there. Press in and release. Just like that. Our spider friend is back. How does that feel? And then another really great stretch for the low back is one where we bring it up, bring our legs up, do a gentle range of motion, get that nice lubed up joint in there, synovial fluid all squishing around. We're going to bring our leg across, put our heel to right around our knee, and then big deep breath in. We're going to roll her this way. How does that feel? Awesome. Now your receiver might feel some tension here or back here on their bottom. Both are good. If it's too uncomfortable here, you're going to push more towards this direction instead of that direction. That'll take some of that pressure off. Kristen, she's very flexible. We can do a little bit more. There we go. How does that feel? Good. Awesome. Then, just like Kristen did, because she's amazing, take this arm, spread it out. You'll get this beautiful full body twist just like that. Breathe in and out. And take my hand here, press along pecs. Not our goal, because our goal is low backs, but you know, I'm here, why not? So once we've done that, we can take our hand, lift up our knee, and then roll our receiver's glute onto our knee here. Do that, right across. How does that feel? Good. Awesome. So what I can feel with my knee is right at the edge of that sacral border. I'm just going to move her leg around. Once I've got it in a good position, I'm going to grab her leg, love your leg, I'm going to hug it, and I'm going to move. And what that is doing is here's her glute, here's my knee. I'm pivoting her glute all around my knee. Super easy, just like that. How does that feel? Sure. Kristen also has amazing flexibility. So to add to it, I'm going to take my other foot and cross press. So I'm pulling with this arm, pressing with this foot. Just like that. How does that feel?
Good.
And again, this kind of stuff would do a lot more, hold it a lot longer. But we're just showing you a little bit of stuff in a short amount of time. Okay, and down. So now we're going to switch to the other side. Okay. Okay. Again, we're going to come in, foot underneath knee. We're going to just do that gentle rocking again. So what this rocking also does is it helps to get the brain to kind of relax around what we've got going on. Sometimes we're so tense, but during this rocking motion, it can help things relax without really having to force it. And what that also does is that gets some really great gentle movement along all of those erector muscles, everything in your lumbar, everything that attaches to your spine, all that stuff is now getting some nice gentle movement while we're doing that rocking. And hold just like that. Get a little bit more movement on this side. So we can go a little bit deeper. How does that feel? Awesome. And then back to the rocking. Again, getting that movement along the spine, along all of those rotatores and multifidi, lots of names for lots of muscles that are in our back. Then I come in and do this, pop up just like that. Now again, Kristen, she's got lots of extra room. Is that okay on? Good, right there. She's at her edge, which is great. I'm gonna hang out here. Let her feel that. Let her work around that, and it's all good. Just to add a little bit for her, I'm gonna add a little bit of an arm traction, because again, she's so bendy. Jealously bendy. Jealously, I don't know how to say that word. Enviously. Just pressing in and then relax. So I'm gonna come and do these beautiful broad quad compressions and IT compressions. And the reason why we focus a little bit on quads is because you can see quads are large, they're like half our leg. And what they'll do is they'll pull on our hip and pull them forward, which then stresses out and stretches out all of those wonderful lumbar muscles. So they start getting all upset. Like, guys, calm down. So we got to tell quads to calm down too. So again, I can feel where Kristen's got some tension and pull back on now my right foot, pressing in more with my left, back and forth. Kind of like a wave motion. Listen to your partner's breathing. On inhale, relax. On exhale, we're gonna push. Just like that. If I find an area that needs extra special attention, I'm gonna take my heel, just press in. Again, I can adjust the pressure down or up. Just, hey, we're here, a little bit of movement, just because I find stuff. That. Now we have some beautiful movement in Kristen's hips and legs, which is awesome. Now we're going to go and do our stretches. We've warmed up the hips. Now we're going to do some more stretches on this side. And again, I'm just holding in. Her femur, her big leg bone, and her hip bone is just a little bit north and a little bit west of where my foot is really, really pressed in. I'm not pressing directly on her hip bone because that feels uncomfortable. Nobody wants a foot jammed into their hip bone. I mean, do you, Kristen? Mm-hmm. I mean, okay. So she doesn't want it either. So that's one thing that we just have to keep an eye out for is we don't want to find the hip bone and just go bam, or find that hip joint and go bam. Be very gentle. We like our receivers usually, so we want them to feel good. So once we've got those hips all nice and warmed up, we're just going to, again, do some gentle range of motion. Get that synovial, that joint fluid, coating the inside of that hip joint. We're going to bring it over. Take a deep breath in. And out. Good job. So sometimes your client or your receiver, you can brace their hip with your leg. This allows for them to have the stretch without having to fight their body for it. I think this camera might work too. I'm going to do this. So now what I'm doing is I'm pushing her down and this way to just help it open up that lower lumbar region, that lower back region, because they can get all squished together. I'm going to brace her hips with my legs. Do this nice low back, full body twist. And really, really get that stretch. How's that feel? Awesome. So then once we've done that, and you know, if your receiver has pain here, you can work here too while they're hanging out. Lots of different things we can do. But what we're going to do now is lift that knee up, put her bottom back onto now my left knee, bring it up and over, and open up those hips. How does that feel? This side is definitely tighter. So I love Kristen's leg. I'm going to bring it with me wherever I go as I do this range of motion. Such a beautiful leg. Thank you for letting me have it. And because Kristen is so bendy, again, foot across, and just lean back and hold. How's that feel? Okay. Once we do that, I'm going to bring her up and over. Set your partner down. You don't want to drop their legs. Usually, again, we like our receivers. I'm going to be nice and gentle with that. Another very easy thing to do is grab your receiver underneath their ankles and lift up. How does that feel in your knees? Is that okay? Good. So super great, easy on the knees. We're going to just gently traction that low back on the knees, just like this. Just gentle traction. How's that? And then just for good measure, you could bend your knees for me. Bring up. Okay. And I'm going to bring your knees to your chest. Then cross. We're going to cross just like that. You see, knees on the other side. I like to put my feet right up to their bottom. And just gently press in. How does that feel? So what this is a nice low back stretch, releasing all of that tension in those lumbar muscles, everything along the spine, everything along the glutes, SI joint. Great finish. And with that, and that's it. How do you feel?
Good.
Awesome. That's it. Anything else?
Take a little bathroom break and then switch partners.
I think that's a great idea. I could definitely go for a bathroom break. Great.
All right, guys, welcome back. So round 2, like I said last time, you know, just the same way as Andrea and I do things a little different, so do we. So I'm going to try to stay as close to as I can, but there will be some variations, partially because I don't do some of those moves in my normal time, so I have a feeling I might be a little rusty, but hey, bear with me, let's learn some things. All right, you ready to go face down?
Sounds great, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to start by warming. I'm going to start just by shaking out your partner. Now Danielle was on her knees, kind of using her hands to shake me out. Or should I kind of start up here? Good, very good. I like to just give a little compression to the glutes. As we mentioned, we kind of, during a typical session when you're working on your friend and you don't have time restrictions, you may linger quite a bit longer in everything that we're doing and really just explore the area. But with us kind of moving quickly through things so that you can see a wide variety, I'm going to move on. I'm going to come and warm the other side as well before I go to palm press. Psych, thought I was going down to my knees, but I am not. Yeah. I'm very happy you do. So as I said, when I'm working, you find balance with how you're standing. Sometimes I'll use my hands on my hips. As you practice, your balance gets better. Kind of come in and explore. When I find something that may need a little more attention, I just lean in. Pressure good? Would you like any more pressure?
Oh, no.
Okay, good. You find whatever is comfortable for you as far as keeping your balance. If your client does want more, you can kind of just lean in. It's really interesting how just slight movements can make such a difference for your partner as far as the pressure that they're receiving. All right, and move down to the feet. Do some nice pressing. Oh, right. Left ankle?
Yep. In my left ankle.
Yeah. Is that pressure better for you? Cool. You're welcome. I'll work my way up, being aware that we have a recovering ankle. As I said before, whenever you want to lighten the pressure, kind of lean back. If your friend or client wants more, you stand over or put your weight over your palms and allow gravity to offer a little bit more. If I feel extra tension here, I might go down and back up as I press, continue to press up her body. The hamstrings can take more pressure, typically. So I always make sure to keep my knees underneath my body. You see, I just moved forward in order to not put my back in any strange position to cause an injury or strain. Also, I can give more controlled pressure when I am sitting over my hands. So once I get to the top, right below, I was about to say the gluteal cleavage, but the cheek cleavage, pretty much. Put my knees right here. I take a deep breath in and out. This is one of my favorite things. I like to move with breath of the body below me. You know, for some of us, our arms are shorter, or maybe we have a larger chest, so we might not be able to put our elbows in the back, but if you can, it's really delicious. I typically come up and do some crossbody stretches to address. I like to move with the breath, being aware that there are ribs underneath my hand. Come up to her glutes, put my knees into the top of her glutes. Good spot there for you? Oh. I kind of just went all in and pulled my feet up. Same thing, when you have shorter legs versus longer legs, this may be a little different for you. I kind of just lean side to side depending on where I'm feeling. A little extra. How's that right side feeling in there?
Feels like a knee.
Right?
It needs your knee in my glute.
Uh-huh.
Feel that all so deep and really deep, that like sits bones area. I'm always sitting.
I like to move slow, you know, I don't want to do any crazy shifting. Make sure I keep an eye on her side joint. So as she showed, kind of put my feet down and lean back in order to not put any strain on her. I'm going to come in and put my knees here, her hands, at that spot. Maybe with one more press, just because. Would you like any more pressure?
No.
Just hold. Allowing your client, friend to breathe and relax. And we'll sit back. Oh, maybe I stay up and have you bring your heels to your glutes. There we go. Heels to glutes. Perfect. So once you have your friend's heels to your glutes, stand up. Keeping in mind that she doesn't like a ton of pressure, I'm going to bring her feet into me. So I know we're at a good place, so I'm just going to kind of hang out. Perfect. She's saying, just in case you couldn't hear, she's feeling it from her mid-back all the way down to her knees.
I love yours.
Oh, and she loves my knees too. I'm going to come down and relax. Sometimes I like to come in, bring a knee here, knee into the glute, and just kind of press. We doing okay with pressure? Kind of like kitty making biscuits, kneading the body, encouraging it to soften. You can adjust your knee to a new position if they want more pressure, which she doesn't, correct? But if you did, you lift the feet up, right? So I can actually lift both my feet up. I'm not going to do that since she doesn't want it, but I just want you to know how to increase the pressure for this move. Specifically, you could pick up both feet. You could pick up one if they're like, oh, more in the glute, but I'm actually fine in the hamstring. You can just hold, you can knead. And I slowly come out. Switch sides. Give the other side a little love before we flip. Same thing, knee into the top of the hamstring, other knee into the glute. Hands across the body, offering support and compression. You can move slowly if your friend, your receiver, if they are tighter, you can kind of just like switch back and forth, giving more pressure to the lower hand and knee or the upper hand and knee. Alternating compressions with your hands across the body. I feel a little resistance, so I'm going to kind of find a spot and hang out for a minute, let her body receive. One thing I want to do before moving on, it wasn't done by Danielle, but I just want to kind of add it in because it's one of my favorite little twists. We're going to grab the foot, go across the body, take a deep breath in, and out. I kind of step back and pull. I like to give the body a little warm up, so let your leg be heavy, deep breath in. And I actually kind of regret doing this since you have a bad ankle, so I'm only doing it to one side. Might be able to try to hold you in the mid leg, but I don't know how comfortable you'll feel with that. Okay, so after you've kind of warmed it up, I like to come across, take one more deep breath. Put my foot in the QL and foot, deep breath in. One more good breath. Move my foot, deep breath in and out. As I pull up, standing up. Just shake and let the foot down. Now with this leg, are you sensitive up here? Can I hold you higher? Okay, yeah, obviously being super careful of your calf. We'll see how far we can go with that. Or your ankle is, I mean, yeah. Take a deep breath in. And Deep breath in, shake that leg out. And Do one more breath in. Let that leg be heavy. Foot in a QL and straight up, out. One more deep breath. And nice. Just being aware of your receiver as you lay their foot down. Let's go ahead and flip face up. I don't believe I forgot anything, right? Cool. Ooh, mic down. And that's why we put it on the side. All right, so I like to kind of start with a little warm up. Palm press in the front. Being aware of an injured ankle. So you can do it two ways. You can do things many ways, but I'm using my palms along the inner edge of the bone. If you want more pressure, you can thumb press up. That'll be way more specific. You will know your clients that like that kind of pressure versus a more broad pressure. I would guess since Danielle doesn't like as much pressure, she would probably be more into the broad. Yeah. Might come up to the knees. Give some little circles. And just come. Being aware that there's many muscles crossing paths under your hands. And so this could be a very sensitive area for some. Just being aware of the amount of weight that you are dispersing over their body. Keeping your knees close, not put your back at risk. And I'm kind of like leaning in and shearing out, kind of pulling the muscles away from the bone. I'm just palming up. I kind of rest at the top and lean my body over just to kind of give a little more opening to the hips. As I begin to palm press down, I'm going to move quicker to get out of this. Typically, I would take my time, give some circle, and come back down towards the feet. And we'll come back to the stuff that Danielle showed us. First round, slide my foot in. I'm going to come in without bringing the sheet. I kind of use my toes to lift as I come in to give the pressure. Using my left foot to give a little bit of torquing. And if you feel like, oh, my foot could be in a better place, you can just kind of shift with your right foot to help your left foot. Being aware that your top of your foot, there is a bone. Some of us are bonier than others. So do be aware that bringing your foot directly in versus out will be a different sensation for your receiver. How are we doing there? I'm going to give her a little shake. A little bit similar to the wagging we were doing while face down, but still it's a different sensation as I have the pressure going into her hip and shaking her out. Got a little more rotation across the front of her body to open up the front. Come in. Big, broad. In my mind, I was just thinking, beware of the person below you. The torque with the left foot can be rather intense, even if it's not much of a movement, as she asked me if I could lighten it up a little bit. So I always start my sessions by telling my receivers, you know, if anything is ever too much or not enough, feel free to have open communication. Let me know how you're feeling. I watch you to see how you're reacting, but there's certain things that you know that I don't know. So I don't take anything personally. And as you're doing this, I have hands. I can use them. That's the cool part. We can sit here and if I'm in like a compression in her leg, give her a little pull, a little traction. This is the beauty about Thai massage, is that the number of spots that we can work at the same time with such ease, right?
The client or
I like to kind of pick up the body with my feet. I gotta stomp around in here. Well, levelly stomp around with my with my toe pads. Got a little violent. And I'm just pressing around her glutes, finding somewhere that may have some tension. Holding where you find some tension. Up and grab her leg. Bring some circles. I like to do some full hip, deep breath in and out. You see with my left leg bent, I'm using that to rotate and lean towards, so I'm not putting my back at risk. Stop with our knee here. We'll give her a nice stretch. And deep breath in. And I really like working with breath. Do stretches, deep breath. Better there. Once they're in this position, this is what I have not done in a while, I believe. But yeah, I will just sit back, love on her leg. Perfect. Oh yes, oh yes. There we go. And then we just lean back. And I'm blanking on what you did after that. I know there was something where you were here. You were doing something where you were pushing across. Did you just do both at the same time? I was thinking it was.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna give a little extra just so you guys can try this. So I have my foot across. Like so.
The hip flex.
So this is using my foot to hold her leg down in case her hip flexors are too tight, just in case you couldn't hear. I'm not quite sure how this recording will work. I think it should pick her up, but just in case I want to repeat some things. Oh, it's nice. Let her go down. I have a thing, I always like to kind of open the hips. I just want to give a little open before I move to the other side, after we just closed everything off. I find it's always interesting how much the quads have to do with the back pain. Pulling down, we won't even really feel it until we start squishing around and we're like, oh, hey, that's tender. Gently bring her legs back to center, give a little traction. And let's go to the other side. Once again, I'm going to slide my foot under. Do a little shaking. Once you feel like you're all shook up, go ahead and go in for some compressions. Using your bottom foot to give a little torque. Use my toes to push up. My bottom foot too much? Okay. Right now I have my bottom foot, it's kind of like this, so I wasn't sure if I needed to open it to get off the bone. I'm actually going to rotate myself up a little bit to be at a better angle for the compressions. I could feel I wasn't able to get close enough, but you can see now by her facial expression, that's a little more intense. And also I have a lot more control just by moving up 2 inches. Yeah, more in line. And as I'm lifting her, I'm just very slowly. Typically, if we're doing this kind of work, it's because our receiver might have some SI, low back instability. So quick movements have the possibility to lock, kind of make you react in a way to protect, which would be counterproductive for what we're trying to do here. After you've received this, you understand that though this is boring to watch, you're watching it, you don't think it's a lot going on, but to actually sit here and to receive compressions down the IT band is phenomenal. There you go. There you go. So I use, to get my foot out from under, I slide my left foot here and just gracefully slide out. I like to come back up using my toes to lift her body and just kind of knead her hip, her glutes. Finding somewhere good, you can kind of sink in. When I'm first going to work a muscle, I move slower to give that body, that part of her body, some time to receive and welcome the work. And sliding out. Come from here. I slide with my left hand under her knee, my right hand at her foot. This is the one that, this is not the one, it was the other one, it was the sprained one, huh? Your left?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. I love that I worked that whole left side, not hurting you. All right, so as I'm standing here, using my right knee as my stability, take a deep breath in. And deep breath. And deep breath. And out as I rest the foot near her knee and allow for a stretch. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and stretch down the body. Deep breath. And she's done, people. Right, so as she is in this position, I once again come in with my knee. We'll see if I can do it right this time. The first time. Feel like I'm in the right place this time. Come in with her knee. This is something weird, aren't I? I'm facing the wrong way, actually. And sometimes that will even happen. Even if you've been doing this for a while, you might get turned around. It's not a big deal. They actually don't, your client will not care because they are mush. And we are all human. All right, so you see I just adjusted 90 degrees. My body was at a weird angle and it wasn't quite getting my knee where it needed to in her glutes. I just readjusted as I'm opening. You will do some things that might be a little rusty to you, but you will quickly realize this won't work. Let me adjust my body a little bit. Everyone's a little bit different, whether our height or size, so in the way we all fit together. I'm going to come in with my foot to give a little resistance. There we go. And actually, this time as I move out, oof, I didn't mean to set her down that quickly. We're good? So another way to open that hip. Maybe just to kind of give a little hip opening before you set it down. Just to reopen since we just closed. little much on this.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. And we'll come back down, offering some traction. You can even come in and give a little whoop. Get a little calf stretch while we're here. Why not, right?
All right. Yeah.
You can straighten. Oh, is that bad on your? You doing okay?
Yep.
Perfect. And come up, bend your knees for me. And one movement, just stand up. I like to kind of open the low back first. Act like you're dancing in 6th grade, a little side to side. You can lean to one side versus the other, being aware what's going on below you. After feeling like you've done enough of that, cross the legs of your receiver and just lean in, giving the low back a stretch. Do not just plop yourself down. This is very intense to receive, especially if you have SI, low back issues. So just gently let gravity disperse. Afterwards, come out slowly. Full traction. At this point, I'd probably do a little bit more to the feet, just opening the body. There's so many options of things that we can do. It's really fun that every session can be different because there's just such a variety of ways you can approach things and just different ways that you can do it. So thank you so much for joining us today. Just a reminder, as last time, if you wanted to buy the DVDs and workbooks, we are doing the full set. If you do it within 30 minutes, you can get a free tie jam shirt along with that purchase. And there's payment plans if that is something that you are interested. Just go ahead and get the information off the screen. We'll flip through in a minute. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you guys again probably in about 2 weeks.